Anarchy. The word often evokes images of chaos, lawlessness, and disorder, but at its core, anarchy is simply the absence of a formal governing authority. Derived from the Greek word anarchia, meaning without a ruler, anarchy represents a political philosophy that advocates self-governed societies based on voluntary institutions. These societies are often non-hierarchical and operate on principles of mutual aid, cooperation, and shared responsibility. Contrary to popular belief, anarchy does not inherently mean chaos. Many anarchists argue that true order arises not from imposed laws, but from people cooperating freely and consensually. In essence, anarchy challenges the legitimacy of all forms of involuntary authority, whether from the state, corporations, or organized religion. The roots of anarchist thought can be traced back to ancient times. Early examples appear in classical Greek philosophy, most notably in the skeptical ideas of Zeno of Citium. However, modern anarchism began to coalesce in the 18th and 19th centuries during the Enlightenment and Industrial Revolution. As states grew more powerful and industrialization transformed societies, new philosophical critiques emerged. Figures like William Godwin in England and Pierre-Joseph Proudhon in France laid the groundwork for anarchist ideology. Proudhon, often considered the father of anarchism, famously declared, "Property is theft," challenging both capitalist and state authority. Later thinkers, including Mikhail Bakunin and Peter Kropotkin, further developed the theory and spread it across Europe and beyond. Kropotkin, in particular, emphasized the importance of cooperation in nature, using scientific evidence to support the feasibility of anarchist society. Anarchism takes many forms, but most share key characteristics: rejection of coercive authority, decentralization of power, emphasis on voluntary association, mutual aid and solidarity, direct action and self-management. There are various strands of anarchism, including Anarcho-Communism, Anarcho-Syndicalism, individualist anarchism, green anarchism, and Anarcho-Capitalism. Each variant interprets the philosophy in different ways, ranging from communal living to free market-based self-regulation. Examples of anarchistic communities include the Free Territory of Ukraine during the Russian Civil War, led by Nestor Makhno, and the anarchist collectives of Catalonia during the Spanish Civil War. More recently, the autonomous zone of Rojava in northern Syria has incorporated many anarchist principles into its governance. Throughout history, there have been moments when anarchist ideals took root. The Paris Commune of 1871 was an early experiment in radical self-governance. In Spain, during the 1930s, anarchist syndicates played a significant role in organizing workplaces and communities, particularly in Catalonia. The Zapatista movement in Chiapas, Mexico, though not strictly anarchist, embodies many principles of decentralized, autonomous governance. The Kurdish-led region of Rojava presents a modern example of stateless, feminist, and communalist governance inspired by anarchist thinker Murray Bookchin. Proponents of anarchy argue that it maximizes individual freedom and autonomy. It encourages direct participation and democratic decision-making. It fosters genuine community and cooperation. It eliminates the abuses and corruption often associated with centralized power. It aligns with ecological and anti-capitalist values. Advocates often claim that people are naturally cooperative and capable of self-regulation, and that institutions of power, especially the state, create more conflict than they resolve. Critics of anarchy contend that it is idealistic and impractical on a large scale. Without a central authority, there's no mechanism for enforcing rules or resolving disputes. It can lead to power vacuums that opportunists may exploit. Historical examples often ended in violence or collapse. Human nature includes tendencies toward conflict and self-interest that require structure and control. Even within the anarchist movement, disagreements exist about strategy, implementation, and the role of certain technologies or economic systems. Anarchist ideas have influenced labor movements, educational practices, art, and even technology. In education, figures like Francisco Ferrer promoted radical schools based on free inquiry. In labor, Anarcho-Syndicalism laid the groundwork for unions and workers' cooperatives. Culturally, anarchism has inspired punk music, literature, and grassroots activism. Economically, its influence is seen in cooperative businesses, mutual aid networks, and decentralized digital systems like open-source software and cryptocurrencies. Compared to authoritarianism or monarchy, anarchy offers a radical departure from centralized control. Unlike democracy, which still relies on representative government and the rule of law, anarchy proposes direct participation and consensus-based decision-making. While socialism and communism share some goals with anarchism, like the abolition of private property and hierarchical structures, most socialist systems have relied on strong state apparatuses, something anarchists reject. On the other end, anarcho-capitalists align more closely with libertarian ideals and advocate free markets without state interference. In the 21st century, anarchist ideas remain relevant. Grassroots movements like Occupy Wall Street, Extinction Rebellion, and anti-fascist collectives often employ anarchist organizing principles. Mutual aid networks flourished during the COVID-19 pandemic, demonstrating real-world applications of decentralized care. Digital communities and blockchain technologies have opened new possibilities for decentralized governance. Though full anarchist societies are rare, the principles continue to shape activism, policy critiques, and alternative models for living. Anarchy remains one of the most misunderstood and debated political philosophies. Far from being synonymous with disorder, it represents a vision of society grounded in voluntary cooperation, mutual respect, and the absence of coercive power. Whether one sees it as a utopian dream or a dangerous fantasy, anarchy challenges us to reconsider how we organize our lives, communities, and the systems that govern us. And in doing so, it keeps alive the enduring question: what kind of world could we build if we truly governed ourselves? If you enjoyed this breakdown of anarchy, make sure to like the video, consider hitting subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Because in this series we're exploring every form of government, from democracy to dictatorships, and even the ones you've probably never heard of. Until next time, stay curious